Hi, I'm Tony Lay, and you're listening to Whispers, the short-form history podcast that tells stories that time is slowly forgetting.
Tonight's episode will be a little different. It's a look at how each of us has our own personal histories, and how each of us can sometimes unknowingly leave behind whispers of our stories for others to find. Tonight I'm quietly remembering the life of a dear friend who recently passed, reflecting on life and the always uncertain amount of time we have. We aren't guaranteed tomorrow, or even the next few hours. But as Mae West once said, if you do it right, it should be enough. And sometimes, the short lives of others and how they lived can be a sobering reminder of just how precious our lives and the time we have truly are. Like the life that began in Sacramento, California, when a little boy was born on March 8, 1981. All of us are on some kind of journey in our lives. Many of us will quietly dream of what our heart tugs at us to do. But only a few of us will know and pursue what we feel we are meant to do. Only a very few will follow what lives in their heart. Even if, as in the case of our story tonight, that heart begins its journey incredibly broken from the start. A heart that belongs to the little boy I mentioned just a moment ago. A heart that suffers from a crushing list of congenital defects. One of the things that it didn't stop was his love of drawing. It seems he would draw relentlessly. At the age of 12, his heart, already worn out resembling a heart that had lived a long, difficult life, broke even more severely, sending the little boy to the hospital for an urgent and necessary heart transplant surgery in order to save his life. The boy continued drawing throughout his entire stay at the hospital, and that's when a doctor noticed his art. Making some calls and using his connections, the doctor connected with a foundation and arranged a trip for the little artist with the broken heart to visit a place where artists spend their day doing what he loved more than anything, drawing and creating. The little boy was successfully given a new heart, a heart that was 18 years older than he was. But a heart that, after his visit with those artists, caught fire when he knew exactly what he wanted to do in life. He would attend 2 colleges and continue honing his skills in creative disciplines. The artist with the broken heart kept aiming toward his dream and where he felt he needed to be. For the next 14 years, that little boy would pursue his dream of becoming an artist, creator, and storyteller. After more than a decade of hard work and never losing sight of that dream he held, he received an internship to draw and create at the place he once visited. Many who knew him lauded his maturity, honesty, and genuine love of living, because unlike many of us, he'd been allowed to experience, as a child, an incredibly rare and unique perspective of just how precious and fragile the time we're alive actually is. On March 18th, 2008, just 10 days after his 27th birthday, the artist with the broken heart collapsed and passed away at the place he worked so hard to get to. A place that he once visited as a 12-year-old in a dire situation. A place that made his heart beat just a little faster and kept him going until he reached something that many of us will stuff away in a dusty corner of ourselves to be forgotten over time as a fantasy. Our dreams. Just before he passed, he'd been interviewed about his work. The interviewer who wrote about him remembered the last words he'd said to her just before they said goodbye. "Right now, I'm very happy. Right now, my heart is doing great." That little boy who grew up to be the artist with the broken heart left us something that, if we're curious enough to take action, we'll learn about his life and an important lesson. He was part of a team of creatives that gave us, fittingly, a film that's a timeless story of hope, one that millions of people have watched and been touched by. There's a dedication to him in the credits of that film. In a strange way, the discovery of the broken-hearted artist's story after only seeing the dedication to him sort of parallels people's pursuits of their dreams in life. Thousands of those who've seen the film have probably let the credits roll at the end, but just chose to ignore them because credits are the boring part. That is just always there, and doesn't really deserve attention. Others will be curious and wonder why the film is dedicated to someone when they see the dedication in the credits. They may pause, theorize that someone involved passed on during the process of making the movie, but their interest and curiosity will end there. Even less will see the dedication and tell themselves, they'll look it up later, because they tell themselves there'll be time later for that. Only later never comes, and they never follow through. But the smallest portion will allow their curiosity to move them into action in that very moment, because to those few, the best time to start something that you want to do is always right now. And those few will see the dedication and do a search for the individual's name on the screen, and learn about someone they don't know and will never meet. Someone named Justin Wright, an artist who began life with a broken heart that taught him how truly precious our time is, and how that unique perspective propelled him toward doing what he dreamt in life, after he visited a place bursting with creativity called Pixar, where our broken-hearted artist helped craft a story of hope mirroring his own life, with a resilient little character whose heart occasionally gives out throughout the film, a character who just keeps going despite all the odds against him, a character named
Wally.
You've been listening to Whispers, the short-form history podcast that tells stories about people, places, and things that time is slowly forgetting. I'm Tony Lay. Thank you for listening. And until next time, good night.